Hey, what's up everyone, it's Dustmouse, and today I'm here with something very different. It's the Elysia Karacter 500 in the Qube format. As you can see right up front, it is a discrete Class A stereo saturator, and it really is a mastering grade saturation device. The Karacter Qube really is studio grade. It's crazy high quality. These knobs are just insane, and you trust me, you have to handle this thing to fully get it. This is a bigger sized box. As you can tell, this is the height of it from the table, so I'd say it's about maybe about 8 inches or so deep. But what it packs in size, it really packs in sound as well. This thing adds drive and color and gain and all kinds of saturation that really adds some texture to whatever you run through it. And we'll talk a little bit more about it, but the mid-side mode is a really cool feature that allows you to really sculpt the sound. You can operate the Karacter Qube in dual mono with 2 matching channels here, or you can operate it in stereo or the really cool mid-side mode, which is also stereo. This Qube format is really cool, and it's a proprietary box that is made by Elysia. It works with all of their 500 modules, and you can see this piece right here just inside the aluminum bits is the actual module, which you can install in other 500 series lunch boxes, as they're called, or put other Elysia modules in the Qube, but compatibility isn't guaranteed with other 500 series modules in this Qube box. So it works really well with Elysia stuff, because it's specifically designed by them. But you can definitely take this out and you can, move it around and decide if you want to kind of build out a bigger 500 series rack or use this as a standalone box, which I really like. I like the standalone nature of this, especially being the type of musician that I am, where I want everything sort of on a desktop. I don't have big loads and racks of outboard gear. And yeah, this is like the perfect way to kind of bring something high-end and studio level and studio grade and bring it into kind of more of like the desktop musician's arsenal. The Karacter Qube is on loan to me from Elysia, and so I thank them so much for letting me check it out on the channel. Sadly, it's going to have to go back in just a few short days, but my time with it has been awesome, and I'm really excited to share what it can do with you guys. But first, we'll go through the knobs and controls, and then we'll hook it up and hear how it sounds. This is Signal Colors. So on the front of the Karacter, you've got 8 knobs and 8 buttons right down the middle. On the back, you've got dual XLR, so XLR in and out for left and right channel, as well as in and out on 1/4 inch TRS for left and right channel. All balanced, all really nice on the back. It's just a solid plate of aluminum, really high quality. Knob-wise, you've got a matching set on the left and the right. You've got drive, which controls the drive level, color, which kind of changes the focus on where you're putting the drive. So if you have it really bright with the fully empty circle, then it's kind of on the higher end crunch factor. And then as you kind of roll it down, then it gets darker and darker. Gain is just a gain amount, so you can go from -11 all the way up to 11 decibels. And then mix, you can go from fully dry to 100% wet. So the middle row is made up of these click switches, which click in and out, and they sort of have a little bit of a match up of controls, but they have some unique ones as well. So this one is left on, and then that's right on. So really, if you're operating in dual mono, you can have the left, the right channel on and off independently. You've got FET shred, which is just kind of like a different sort of sound, a different take on the drive characteristics, and then a boost, which really kind of pumps that up even further. So you turn on the shred, and then you would boost it with the turbo boost button. Those two match up here as well. This is the stereo link button, and when you click that in, then it actually will take over the right controls with the left controls. So if you're using it with a stereo source, then all the controls will be done with this side of the knobs and these buttons. This top button is a little unique. It's the mid-side mode, and that's a feature that is really cool with the Karacter. What that does is allow you to split off the shaping characteristics of the more middle, so like not quite as far panned stereo field, and then the sort of outside. So as you pan further out, this would control those sort of outer edges of the sides of your sound. I know it's not a feature that most people are used to, myself included, but it's really, really cool and really lets you shape the sound in a way that is just very different from what you're probably used to as kind of a more traditional desktop musician. Crazy cool, and it's a lot of fun. So let's get it hooked up and hear what it sounds like. Alright, so I've got the Elektron Digitone here paired up with the Karacter Qube. The Digitone is a super cool FM synth, 4 tracks, and yeah, I love this thing. I thought it would be a good pairing with the Karacter Qube because these are very dry, very digital sounds, and it would be interesting to see if we could bring a little bit of warmth, saturation, all that good stuff to it with the Karacter. So right now it's in stereo link mode, so all my controls on the left side will control the whole stereo mix. And everything is set to noon or 12 o'clock, so just right in the middle. All right, let's hear what my clean pattern sounds like. Very plucky, very bright. Let's go ahead and engage the Karacter. It was very subtle, but there's already a slight change. Let's make it more drastic. What if you up the color, you lose a little bit of the low end, and there's not much in this one. So I like to, when I really crank the brightness on the color and the drive, I feel like it's nice to kind of roll the mix back a little bit to regain a little bit of your low end. Go for the full mix here. Fully wet. Bypass. And engaged. I'm going to back the color way down. I like what it's doing with that bassier pluck. Right there. Bypass. Re-engaged. That's cool how it's really emphasizing the bass. We'll add the boost. So you hear the brightness. You do lose the low end, so back up the mix. And then bump the gain to sort of compensate. Alright, let's go crazy. Dial the mix out. Kind of get the original with just a little added sizzle. We'll bypass. Definitely a bit more sterile. Mixed all the way out. See, there still is a slight difference. It's active now and bypassed. So yeah, even though the mix is down, you still get a little bit of something, which is cool. Because if you really don't want anything, you can just bypass it. I'm going to turn off the stereo link. And now I have the right side turned on. And I'm going to operate it independently of the left side. Which is kind of interesting. It's kind of treating the left and right as two individual mono sources, basically, that then get remixed in my recorder. Turning the right side back to normal. And re-engaging the right side. I'll do the same with the left side now. I guess the drive was down, so it's a subtle change. That's a little bit more obvious. Alright, I'm going to switch patterns here. Actually, I'm going to return it back to stereo operation. And bypassed as well. Switch over the second pattern so you can hear what it sounds like clean. A bit more of a swirly bass, ambient-esque sort of thing. Let's hear how this does. So we'll engage it. Making it the higher frequency is definitely getting crunchy. Up the mix. Pretty wild. Turn off the shred and the boost. Bypassed. And re-engaged. I'm going to darken up the color. Bypassed. And engaged. Pretty serious distortion territory. But we'll mix it out a little bit. Maybe brighten it a little. I'm gonna try this one in the mid-side mode. Turned off the stereo link, engaged mid-side mode. Now we can control mid with this row and sides with this. So let's see what we can get. Shred the sides. We'll bypass. And re-engage. and engage. Bypass. And engaged. That was a little demo of the mid-side mode. I have another example I'm going to show you with the Ocatrack that kind of brings it out a little bit more. So let's do that. Okay, so I'm here with the Octatrack Mark II from Elektron, the awesome 8-track sampler, performance sampler, super cool, and if you haven't heard of it by now, you've probably been living under a rock because it's definitely a staple in music production these days. Okay, so per usual, I'm going to play my clean pattern, which sounds like this. Pretty cool little groove kind of thing going on. All right, now go ahead and engage the character. So right now I've got mix at 50%, gains all the way down. Bring the gain up. Let's brighten up the color. Get real crunchy. Back the mix out a little bit. A little bypass. Clearly a crunchy difference. Darkening the drive character. Watching my gain here. That's cool, you can really hear it hitting the bass. Bypass. And engaged. I'm going to turn on the shred. Turn the boost back off. So you can hear in this mode, especially with the higher, brighter color frequencies, you lose your low end a little bit. So you compensate with the mix. All right, let's boost it. Really breaking up. gain some. Let's A/B it. Bypassed. And engaged. Okay, I'm gonna switch into mid-side mode. Turn off the stereo link. So on the mid side, just gonna have everything down right now. I'm gonna focus on the side. Really here bringing out the characteristic of the shakers for sure. Alright, I like that. I'm going to go with that and switch to the mids now. Keep it dark. Bypass. This is the original. And there it is engaged. So you really hear it kind of open up the stereo field when you have it in mid-side mode, which is really cool. Go ahead and do the FET shred on the sides. On the mids. Bypass. And engaged. Bypassed again. And engaged. So obviously no pun intended, but you can really hear it add some character. Alright, switching patterns here. Make sure we're bypassed. This is the clean pattern.
Signal.
A little bit of self-promotion. Hashtag shameless.
Signal.
Signal colors.
Signal.
Signal colors.
Signal.
All right, we'll go ahead and engage the character. So pretty extreme settings. But this pattern is sparse intentionally, so you can kind of really hear some targeted saturation. Still in mid-side, so I'm going to start with the mids.
Signal.
Signal colors.
Signal.
Signal colors.
Signal.
Signal colors.
That sounds cool.
Signal.
colors.
I still have the old settings on the sides, so I'm going to bring that back.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
I still have the shred on the sides. I'm going to boost it, actually.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
Let's take a little bit of texture out of the mids.
Signal.
colors.
You can hear the vocal quality is crispier now.
Signal.
colors.
Wow, this is really catching.
Signal.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
Well, that's interesting. We'll bypass.
Signal.
colors.
And engaged. Really changes it up, really kind of
Signal.
brings everything together a little bit.
Signal.
colors.
Turn off the shred and the boost. We have a little bit
Signal.
of a cleaner version here. We'll bypass. And engage.
colors.
Signal.
colors.
signal,
signal colors,
And there we go. That is the Octatrack Mark II paired up with the Karacter Qube. Okay, so last but not least, I have the Roland TR-606 classic drum machine analog from the 80s, one of my favorites. And we're going to hear how it sounds through the Karacter. So I've got it in stereo link, and I've got everything at 12 o'clock. So let's hear how it sounds. Right now it's bypassed, so this is the clean pattern. And we'll engage. You can really hear it. Add in some funk to the kick. Add some more drive. Really add some bass, boost it up. I like what that's doing with the hats. Really crispy. Fully wet. Kind of splitting the difference a little bit there, at least sonically, if not right in the middle. Actually that one, but still. So you can hear the kick, kind of depleted of bass, so we'll mix it back in. And then up the gain. Let's shred it. Really gritty now. We'll add the boost. And a reminder of what the clean sounds like. And re-engage. Oops, I accidentally turned off the stereo link, so you heard it just pan to the left. Turning off the boost and shred. Let's hear this compared to the original. Clean. Obviously. And then re-engaged. Alright, we're going to switch patterns now. We'll go with this one. That's not fair. We'll hear it clean first. Alright, and we'll engage. Real dirty. The shred going. And we'll boost it. Clean comparison. Really hear it accentuate the toms as you sweep through the color. About there. Kind of interesting to kind of sweep through and see what you like. Turn off the boost. We keep the shred on. I'm gonna speed it up too. Just a ton of control, which is really nice. Turn the shred off, slow it down now. We'll go with just some cleaner drive tones. Actually, it's a little too slow. I'm going to speed it up again. We'll bypass it. And engaged. To compensate some gain here. Clean. Engaged. Subtle. You can hear in the decay of the toms. Or at least that's what I'm focusing on. More lively. bypass it. And engaged. Bypassed. Engaged. All right, bypass. Let's try another pattern. Engage. Bring the cymbals and hats down a little bit. Actually, I'll take them out. It's a good thump. Actually, yeah, I'll leave the mix at 100%, and we'll just go through the color range. Pretty cool. You can really hear the range that this thing can get. And back to clean. And there we go. That is the TR-606 paired up with the Karacter. So what are my thoughts on the Karacter Qube? Well, I think it sounds amazing. It is definitely a high quality piece of gear. You can really hear it, you can feel it, the subtlety that you can get from this thing up to the extreme is just a really cool wide range of sounds you can pull out of this, and it shows you that it's exactly intended to be a studio effect because you can really get very, very minute with the changes, and that means you can be very exacting, which means you can have the exact outcome that you want, which is extremely cool. The box, as you can see, is, you know, pretty big, but it's a lot easier to manage than something like, if you don't already have a rack, like getting a big 19-inch rack unit or something like that. It's not too crazy. I mean, it's definitely bigger than a pedal, of course, but it definitely can sit really nice and proud next to your synths and your groove boxes and all that good stuff, and really add a touch of high quality sound sculpting and drive to your sound signature. These knobs are next level, high quality. They have little tiny detents in them when you turn them that just feel crazy insane. And you can tell that they're like bead blasted aluminum, I think. So they've got like a grippy texture, but feel crazy quality. You can tell just like the quality is there. I mean, even just like the thickness of this front panel is crazy thick. So you know it's going to be really durable and really kind of stand the test of time. On the back, it's got plenty of I/O. You know, it's everything you need. It's just in and out, but it's on TRS or XLR, and it's fully balanced. Again, really thick backplate, really high quality. And I love on the bottom there these rubber rails, which they just sit so nice. Yeah, I know it's a funny thing to bring out, but just every single piece of this you can tell was considered and thought about, and that's just cool. And I always appreciate that because I'm a person who loves build quality, and I think it matters, especially if it's something that you use and touch and you don't just look at. So sound-wise, it of course sounds fantastic. I like that you can be as subtle or as extreme as you want. You can mix in just a little bit or a lot, make up the mix with the gain. Being able to change the color from anything real crispy and bright sounding to dark and emphasizing your bass tones is awesome. Obviously controlling the drive amount. Mid-side mode is one of the coolest things. I didn't think I would really care that much about it, but it ends up being that seems like it's the coolest way to even use this thing, if you ask me. Being able to manipulate your sound in the stereo field and apply different textures to that is just a really cool feature. Once again, thanks so much to Elysia for sending this out for me to demo on the channel. Sadly, it does have to go back, but hey, all good things must come to an end until I buy one, and then I'll probably keep it forever. That being said, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.